나만다 우츠 나만다 우츠 나만다 우츠 나만다 우츠 나만다 우츠 나만다 우츠.
Good morning. Welcome to our hybrid virtual in-person service. My name is Tara, and I would like to thank you for attending this morning's combined Dharma Family and May Shotsky Memorial Service. For those joining in person, chanting, singing, and reciting with masks on is allowed. At the end of service, we will ask you all to remain seated until an usher helps you. We will begin the service with a moment of quiet sitting. Reverend Kuwahara will strike the bell, and we will sit for 1 or 2 minutes to quiet our minds and prepare to hear the Dharma. Then he will strike the bell again, and we will continue with the service.
나모 아미다 부츠 나모 아미다 부츠 나모 아미다 부츠 나만다 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 부츠.
Reverend Kuwahara will now chant the Shishin Rai, which is on page 27 of the large service book, followed by the Hyobyakumon, or dedication passage. Following the dedication, Reverend Kuwahara will chant Amida Kyo, which is on page 101 of the large service book. During the chanting, the Shotsky families are invited to come up to burn incense.
시심 개이레이 나모 쇼우제으 시심 개이레이 나모 쇼우제으 호 시심 개이레이 うそう。Dedication 表白 Today, on this occasion of May Shotsuki monthly memorial service, we gather to remember our family members and friends who passed away in the month of May. The end of life is inevitable for all beings. We may recognize the truth of Buddha's teaching that everything in this world is impermanent. And yet, as we grieve the parting of our dear loved ones, we find it difficult to accept this truth in our hearts. With great compassion, Amida Buddha established a vow to lead all sentient beings to the realm of nirvana upon their departure from this world, and bring about their attainment of the highest enlightenment and a complete liberation from suffering. Because of this vow, they have now become enlightened ones, or Buddhas, who compassionately embrace and guide us on our journey to liberation from suffering. May we encounter the guidance of the Buddha and deepen our appreciation of the Buddha's compassionate benevolence. May we remember with gratitude all we have received from the deceased, and reaffirm that we continue to spiritually receive guidance within their embrace. ナモ阿弥陀仏、ナモ阿弥陀仏、ナモ阿弥陀仏、ナマン陀仏、ナマン陀仏、ナマン陀仏、ナマン陀仏、ナマン陀仏。So today, we will dedicate this service to those people. I'm going to call the names of the people, our Dharma friends who passed away in the month of May. Hideo Adachi, Douglas Beru Davis, Ayako Fujii, Sansuke Fujinaga, Bill Gerota, Junji Hamai, Tomoko Hamamoto, Satoshi Hane, Florence Nitta Hiramoto, Terry Teruyo Hiramoto, Kirie Hiraoka, Yonezo Hirose, Edward Akihiko Imazumi, Kazuhiro Ishida, Tamayo Ishida, Shigenori Iyama, Toshio Jinbo, Shigeru Jio, Chika Kawamoto, Stella Isao Kimura, Teruko Komure, Michio Kono, Shokun Fuahara, Torayoshi Maida, Kane Maida, Roy Saburo Matsushiro, Prince Setsuko Maeda, Alma Tsuneko Hirose Miller, Naokichi Mitsuyasu, Kimiyo Miyaji, Ayako Marie Miyazaki, Yuta Morimoto, Fusako Morita, John Morita, Robert Nagahisa, Miyoko Nakagawa, Miyoshi Nakano, Edwin Shigeyuki Oki, Amy Oki, Kenji Ota, Hisae Joanna Sakai, Larry Takeo Sato, Chizuko Shimada, Fumiko Oshita Sugihara, Ginzo Suto, Mari Bonzo Suzuki, ルーセオ高野、吉典棚田、菊江アリス徳吉、渡る土橋、としこ鶴本、清見上久、清江宇野木、川代山崎、聡城山崎、二之助吉田、敏夫吉田、竹彦吉村。So today we will have this monthly memorial service dedicated to those people. So now I am going to chant the Amida Kyo on page 101. Then Shotsuki family members, if you don't mind, please offer incense during the sutra chanting. Namanda. Amida Kyo Nyōzei Gamon Ichiji Butzai Shae Kok Gijuki Kodoku On Yodai Bikushu 1250人空海税大あらか中小知識長老者利発マカモ県連マカカショマカカセンネマカクチラリハタシュリハンダガナンダアナンダアゴラキョボンハダイビンズルハラダカルダイマカコヒンナンハクラアヌルノゼト初代弟子病床菩薩マカサツ文殊シリ法王子アイタ菩薩ケンダカダイ菩薩上昇人菩薩上尿税と初代菩薩牛釈大観音無料商店大祝二次仏語長老舎利本十税裁縫果十万の区仏右世界明圧極楽合同右仏語阿弥陀根源在説法舎利非道が公明意極楽合国修上無宿単樹将来光明極楽舎利本極楽国道七十乱十七十羅網七十五大税司法主総医尿税公費国明圧極楽舎利極楽国道牛ポチ白毒水十万五中地大根に根社風四辺街道金言ルリハリ五条上右老閣薬医金言ルリハリ社交釈主名の二言直視地中蓮華大尿者常識証拠王式陽光釈式釈光白式白光未明光家シリ発極楽国道上十尿税空毒症シャリ発非仏国道上佐天学黄金維持中夜六二ウマンダラ系五国修上上位昇誕各位英国上昇明空用他方十万の区仏即位直事厳冬本国凡時協業シャリ極楽国道上十尿税空毒将軍武士シャリ発非国上修寿奇妙雑式市長白光空弱オウムシャリ下領便無名市長税商州長昼夜六時水和下音五音円 合根合力七宝大分八正道分尿税等合同修上門税応仁開室念仏年法年相舎利発尿物医師仏税財宝少々小医者が非仏国土無三幕舎利発合仏国土小無三幕道師名画教宇霊障宗長海税阿弥陀仏欲療法温泉変芸少佐舎利発非仏国土未風水十法五十九法羅網水味妙音非尿百千十同時空差門税恩赦開示年少念仏年法年相師舎利発合仏国土上寿尿税功徳将言舎利発お如意運が非仏がこご阿弥陀舎利発非仏光明無量正直報国無償証下税公合意阿弥陀無舎利発非仏寿命牛五人目無量無辺阿僧義公光明阿弥陀舎利発阿弥陀仏成仏以来王根実無舎利発非仏無量無辺正門弟子海阿楽非税三十四小の地消防殺種薬部尿税舎利非仏国土上寿尿税功徳将言無舎利発極楽国中上少者海税阿弥バチ五中多雨一生不公衆人他非税三十小の地死単価無料無阿僧義公摂舎利発修上門者応答発願願生非上位者が特用尿税症状善人空営医師舎利発不可以小前言福徳因縁特消費舎利発脈善男子善用人門説阿弥陀修持名号脈一日脈二日脈三日脈四日脈五日脈六日脈一心不乱言人臨妙十字阿弥陀仏幼少修上現在後天人修持神父天道即徳往生阿弥陀仏極楽国土舎利発崖税利公摂氏薬修上門税摂社応答発願消費国土舎利発尿が根者三段阿弥陀仏不可思議空逃亡薬阿宿美仏修味創仏大修味仏修味公仏妙音妙税等合が社修小仏各王合国水光上絶素偏風三千大先生界戦場実言妙等修等身税小三不可思議空毒一切小仏小五年舎利発南方正解ウ日が動物妙門公仏大円見趣味動物無料小人物尿税等合が社修正各王合国水光上絶素偏風三千大先生戦場実言妙等修上等身税小三不可思議空毒一切小仏小五年舎利発裁縫正解無量重仏無量創仏無量道大好仏大名仏発想仏上皇仏尿税等合が社修正各王合国水光上絶素偏風三大先正解戦場実言妙等修上等身税小不可思議空毒一切小仏小五年 舍利仏北方正解有縁見仏最小音仏南小仏日小仏毛明尿税等合河社修小仏各王合国水光上絶相偏風三大仙正解戦場実言尿等修上等心税小風化市議空毒一切小仏小五年非発芸法正解牛死仏妙門妙高仏脱馬仏報道仏自法仏尿税等合河社修正各王合国水光上絶相偏風三千大先生戦場実言尿等修正等心税小三風化市議空毒一切小称号年行舍利発情報正解有望能仏宿能仏工場仏高校大円見仏雑式法慶言神仏サラ十王仏法慶徳見一切芸仏尿臭未戦仏尿税等合河社修正各王合国水光上絶相偏風三千大先生戦場実言尿等修正等心税小三風化市議空毒一切小仏小五年舍利発王尿意運河雅光明意一切小仏小五年舍利発脈全南市全陽人門税小仏小牛妙牛行妙社税小全南市全陽人会一切小仏具小五年海徳風大天王阿の九多三脈三宝大税公舍利発尿等海東真珠が重症仏小説舍利発脈人異発願根発願東発願六小阿弥陀仏国者税小人と海徳風大天王阿の九多三脈三宝大王非国道脈異小脈根性脈東小税公舍利朝全南市全陽人脈信者応答発願消費国土舍利発尿が根者小三小仏風化市議空土非小仏と薬小説が風化市議空二差前言釈迦無二仏の異人南慶右師寺能王シャバ国皇辱悪性皇辱権辱煩悩辱修正辱明辱中阿の九多ら三脈三宝大異小修正節税一切政権南進し舍利発統治が王豪辱悪性行師南寺徳阿の九多三脈三宝大一切政権摂氏南進し税異人南仏摂氏教義舍利発牛小美空一切政権天人アシュラ等文部諸説寛義真珠さらいにこう仏説阿弥陀経ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブがんにしくどく平等性祭道法菩提心往生安楽 Namandavts, 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 namandavts.
Please rise if you are able to follow along with the Gatha on Dokusan 2, which is on page 220 of the large service book. And then please remain standing for the reading of the Golden Chain 2. I will now recite the Golden Chain 2 on page 15 of the large service book. Please feel free to follow along. Golden Chain 2. I am a link in the Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in the Buddha's golden chain of love become bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. We will now have a children's Dharma talk by Reverend Kuwahara.
ありがとうございます。Hey, good morning, everyone. おはようございます。Thank you very much for attending today's service. It's already May. It's amazing. So this morning, I would like to share with you a Buddhist humor by Reverend Dr. Kenneth Tanaka. I think some of you personally know him, Tanaka Sensei. So this is a conversation between, person A, person B, whatever. Yeah. And then, so A said, you've heard the famous Buddhist joke about Buddha and the vacuum machine, right? And B said, I think so. But can you tell me again? Right? And A said, why couldn't the Buddha vacuum the small space, like, under the sofa? He said, oh, that's right. I remember now. The answer is... Anybody? Maybe Stacy, right? Oh, no. Okay. Got it? Yeah, it's because the Buddha had no attachment. But now you see the pictures, images of vacuum machine, a vacuum cleaner, right? So Buddha no longer had an attachment, right? So when we vacuum, depending on the space we want to clean, we can change the head, the top part, right? So when we want to clean the small, narrow space, we need a small head, right? Narrow nozzle. But the Buddha, no longer had an attachment. Right? So that's why Buddha couldn't vacuum the narrow, small space. So in Buddhism, attachment is a cause of trouble or suffering. Right? Since the goal of Buddhism is to avoid trouble or liberate us from suffering, it is taught to reduce attachment or to remove attachment. Right? So Buddha is one who has no attachment, and that is our goal for Buddhists. But I know it is not easy to reduce or completely remove all attachment within ourselves, right? So Shakyamuni Buddha taught, let it go. Anyway. So that's how we can have less trouble or suffering by gradually letting our attachment go. So I think maybe you said no. I thought some of you knew this Buddhist humor of Buddha's vacuum, because Tanaka Sensei, he kind of shared that humor everywhere. But there is another one, like this. So I say, good. Now I've heard a follow-up to that, like a part 2. Oh, tell me, why then did the Buddha ask Shinran Shonin to help him? I don't know. Do you know why? So Shinran Shonin, now you see the image at the bottom. He is the founder of our school, Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. So next year, we will celebrate his 850th birthday in Japan. Because he was born in 1173, so 2023 is 850th, his birthday. So we have big celebration in Japan next year. So then, the question is, why did Shakyamuni Buddha ask Shinran Shonin, to vacuum small place?
The answer is, he has a lot of attachment, right? So, Shinran Shonin, Venerable Shinran, right, founder of our school, Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, he was very serious seeker, very, very hard worker, serious seeker. And he wrote many books, many writings. And in his writings, he honestly disclosed that he had a lot of attachment, that is, defilements within himself, like anger, greed, stupidity, and so forth. He honestly, said, I have a lot. So as a serious seeker, they were what he discovered in himself, right? With the guidance of Amida Buddha. Or, before encountering Amida Buddha, he couldn't see them. He couldn't see them because of the darkness of his ignorance, right? His eyes are kind of covered by his kind of ignorance or darkness. But thanks to the Buddha's light, Amida Buddha's light of wisdom and compassion, he could realize how much defilements he had. Right? So now he found attachment and other defilements within himself. What should he do? As a Buddhist, right? As I said, he shouldn't have had them, right? Those things, right? Should he hide or cover them, right? Like we hide or cover up trash when we, clean, right? Put the trash under the carpet or, under the, sofa. No. He didn't hide or cover them up. But he humbly acknowledged what he had within himself, and he sincerely worked on them with Amida Buddha. So because of that, I like Shinran Shonin. He was very honest, diligent Buddhist. And so that's why I like his guidance, his teaching. I think he lived a true life as a Buddhist with Amida Buddha, with the Dharma. So I think this is Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, right? Not just covering up. Just, we need to live with our attachment with Amida Buddha. Okay? So again, thank you very much for attending today's service. This is my Dharma message for Dharma School students. ありがとうございました。So to conclude my Dharma message, please put your hands together in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. はい、Thank you. ありがとうございました。
Thank you, Reverend Kuwahara, for your Dharma message to the students. We would now like to welcome the following new guests. And you're welcome to rise to be recognized. John. Angela. Sua. And the Chulu family. Thank you all for joining us today. So today is also the first Sunday of May, and so we will also have the monthly birthday lottery. So happy birthday to those on the screen. Lauren, Tina, Emiko, Kyoshi, Hiroto, Takato, and Brian. Wow, many birthdays. Happy birthday. Okay, and so now, so the first Sunday of the month, we have a drawing. And so one of the names on the screen will win a gift card. Okay. Brian. Congratulations. The temple office will contact you and send you the gift card. So happy birthday to everybody. Now we will have the happy birthday song. Hope you all have a wonderful birthday. Alrighty. So now I will read the announcements that have been submitted. If you have an announcement to be read at the Sunday service and to be included on the announcement slide, please send it to the temple office by Friday before the service. So today, immediately after service, we will have virtual yoga. On Wednesday, May 4th at 7 p.m., we will have online meditation and discussion. On Thursday, May 26th at 6:30 p.m., we will have our Dharmanar, and the topic is Four Noble Truths. Dharmanar is a Dharma discussion. And then we are still having our Satsuki Bazaar fundraiser and bento sale. Right now, we are at 25% of the goal, and so thank you everyone for your participation. We deeply appreciate your support. I think you can still donate and still buy bentos. And then John Kawamoto's A's game. And so if you're interested in attending the A's game, you can see John after the service. And John's waving right now. Or you can email the temple office if you are not here in person. Oops, sorry, lots of papers. Now the students will be dismissed to their classes. Would the Dharma school students please go to the front to Oshoko, and then you may go to your classrooms. All others are invited to remain for the adult Dharma message.
ごめんなさい。Again, thank you very much for attending today's service. Before I start, I would like to read this passage on the screen. So if you can, please put your hands together in Gassho. How to listen to a Dharma message. Listen as if I'm listening for the first time. Listen as if this message is for myself alone. Listen as if this is the last chance to listen to the Dharma. In Japanese, 聴聞の心得。この度のこのご縁は初ごとと思うべし。この度のこのご縁は我一人のためと思うべし。この度のこのご縁は根性最後と思うべしと。ナマンダウツ、ナマンダウツ、ナマンダウツ。はい。はい。Again, thank you very much for attending today's service. It's already May. It's unbelievable, right? And then, yeah, so this month is a bazaar month. But still, we are in the transition. The situation, COVID situation is getting better, but still in transition. So that's why we don't have an in-person regular bazaar, not this year. But we will have a bento sale. So I thank you for your support for this fundraising to support our temple. So I'm going to talk about attachment today, which is a part of Dharma for our monthly study session. So our tradition, when we give a Dharma message, we have a passage, and then so this is the passage that I selected for my message today. So if you can, again, please put the hands together in Gassho. It is hard for us to abandon this old home of pain, where we have been transmigrating for innumerable kalpas down to the present, and we feel no longing for the Pure Land of peace, where we have not yet to be born. We have yet to be born. Truly, how powerful our blind passions are. But though we feel reluctant to part from this world, at the moment our karmic bonds to this Saha world run out, and finally our lives end, we shall go to that land. Amida Buddha especially sympathizes with those who have no thoughts of wanting to go to the Pure Land. Reflecting on this, we feel the great vow of great compassion to be all the more trustworthy and realize that our birth is settled. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. はい。So, as Tara mentioned, Berkeley Buddhist Temple has a monthly study session. It's like a discussion session, which we call Dharma. So we have this Dharma monthly gathering on Zoom last Thursday of every month. So we had April 1 couple of months ago, and then Angie attended our Dharma first time. Thank you, Angie, for ね。ありがとう。And then so usually we have 7 to 10 people attend, and we have 3 presenters on one topic. So usually we have suffering or primal vow, Amida Buddha, Pure Land, all those major topic of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism or Buddhism. And then me or Reverend CJ or John Mullins or Reverend Tynes Moore from Canada, they are like presenters. So three of us give a short presentation on the topic, like a 10, 15 minutes presentation, three of us. And then after that, we have a discussion. So this is a kind of interesting. This is a good occasion for me to listen to other people's, interpretation or understanding of the topic. So one topic, three different presentation, and then open discussion, right? So this is really, so I myself really enjoy every time we have a Dharma. So as Tara announced, the next one is the last Thursday of May, which is May 26th. The topic is Four Noble Truths. So originally, this time I think Diane talked about having the first of the Four Noble Truths, but we ended up covering the whole Four Noble Truths as a topic. So if you're interested, please join us. It's on Zoom. You don't have to come to the temple. Okay. Then the last Thursday, we had an April Dharma. The topic was attachment. And then in our tradition, I think we had two items we discussed during this month's Dharma. So one is a repeated craving of worldly things created, related or rooted from our greed. Right? So that is maybe one form of attachment that we see in our everyday life. And then the other topic we discussed is our existence living in this impermanent world. So let me go to the first thing. Let me share, what we discussed, and then also my personal take. So you see this jar today. So if we, there are candies here, right? And then my hand got stuck, right? Because I grabbed, so many candies in my hand, right? And then if I get upset, I'm sure I look, stupid or idiot, right? How come, I cannot put my hand, right? So this is very ridiculous. So then, just pick one and then easy, right? I can get, take my hands out of this jar, right? So when, we let our greedy thought or our greed, and then maybe then I cannot, take my hands out of this jar, right? So that's why, as I mentioned in my Dharma message for Dharma school students, Shakyamuni Buddha said, let it go, right? But for us to let it go, I'd say, first, we need to humbly acknowledge, our greed, right? If we are ignorant of our greed, we would still get stuck, putting hands in a jar, right? And then I know this is really looks funny and then ridiculous, but as you laughed, maybe that's how Buddha sees our everyday life. From the eyes of wisdom, Buddha's eyes of wisdom, sometimes we are doing something funny, from Buddha's eyes, right? So that's why Buddha tries to give us a guidance. And then we can live right, we can live better, right? I think that is a Buddha's teaching. That is a Buddha's guidance, Dharma. And then when we recognize acknowledge our greed or greedy thoughts, for example, we could let it go, right? That is, we can be more flexible, right? And then so that we can have less trouble, suffering, difficulties. Right? So this is one thing about we discussed. And then another topic we covered, discussed was our existence, our life in this impermanent world, right? So speaking of impermanence, sometimes we connect, oh, this is very pessimistic, teaching, just talking about end. But I would say that the teaching of impermanence kind of pointing out constant change, right? Constant change. That is a kind of point of, so that's why once we are born in this world, someday we have to end this life, right? But at the same time, once we end, new thing starts, right? So that's another take of impermanence, right? So living in this world, sometimes we hit the wall, right? We have so much difficulties, so much, maybe we are in the deep bottom of despair or grief. But someday, sun rises, right? Because that terrible situation never lasts forever, right? So if we take the teaching of impermanence, I would say this is also teaching of hope, too, right? So this, truth of impermanence, things are constantly changing, right? But for us, sometimes it's tough, difficult to accept this constant change, right? Sometimes we stay as they are, things as they are. And then the teaching, the truth of impermanence, yeah, that's right. I totally agree with you. Everything is constantly changing. Maybe we understand this teaching here, but sometimes it's hard to take this teaching here at our heart. So for example, are we ready for getting old, right? Everybody wants to stay young, healthy, right? But we cannot but, age or get old. Are we really ready? And then getting sick. So right now, I think I am healthy, but usually I don't go to, doctor very much. So I need to go, check up and then, check my health condition. But I think I'm healthy now. So everybody wants to stay healthy. But someday we may get sick. We may have a big health issue, right? Are we ready? Not only my health, but health of our loved ones. And then the last thing is, end of our life. We have, like ups, downs, living in this world, living this life. But most of us, we want to live long, stay alive. But as long as we live in this world of impermanence, constant change, right? Someday, sooner or later, although we don't know yet, we don't know when, but someday we have to have the end of this life. And then, are we ready? Sometimes I mention 170,000. That is a number of people who end their lives somewhere on this earth. Every day, that number of people, their lives end. So maybe, I am one of them today, or maybe tomorrow, right? As we read White Ashes letter by Renyo Shoni, right? So nobody knows. Young, old, doesn't matter, right? So again, are we ready, right? So maybe as a knowledge, or intellectually we understand the truth of impermanence, but at the heart, can we accept that? Right? I know it's really difficult, tough. So that's why we continue to listen to the Dharma with Buddha, so that we can be ready, right? Or at least we can reduce the impact when we really, hit that the tragedy of truth of impermanence. Right? So another thing, right? about like a difficulty or kind of attachment from the topic item of our existence. I would say, so from Jodo Shinshu perspective or Pure and Buddhist perspective, kind of resistance to the revelation from samsara. So what does it mean? So today, when we had a Dharma, the topic is attachment. Somehow this passage came to my mind first. Maybe this is because my mind connected our attachment to the life in this world and then resisting to going to the Pure Land. I mean the revelation from suffering. So because of that connection, this passage came to my mind. So at the beginning, our founder said, it is hard for us to abandon this old home of pain. Sounds, interesting. We are living, home of pain, but we don't want to live here. And then like a pure land of peace, right? So this pure land is land of purity. That means no greed, no anger, stupidity, no fight, no war, right? No sadness, no grief, right? So kind of ideal, nirvana, ideal place. But maybe most of us, we don't feel no longing for the, pure land of peace. Right? So maybe this is because how Shinan Shonin said, how powerful, truly how powerful our blind passions are. So because of our blind passion, we want to stay here. We don't go there, right? So it's me, a little bit younger, and then this is also another, truth of impermanence. So shorter hair. So according to Buddhist cosmology, understanding, we kind of transmigrate 6 realms, hell, and the hungry ghosts, animals, fighting spirit, humans, and heaven. So this samsara is a realm of suffering. And then we transmigrate from one after another, right? So we have ups and downs, but overall, according to Buddhist understanding, we are living in the world of samsara, life of suffering, difficulties, right? So that's why Buddha, wisdom and compassion, right? From the eyes of wisdom, all of us having a hard, tough, difficult life. So that's why, because of compassion, Buddha wants to liberate us or take us from this life of suffering. So Amida Buddha established the teaching of Nembutsu, saying Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. We can be liberated from this world of suffering. That is Nembutsu's teaching, and it directed each of us. But again, Amida Buddha established such an easy, simple path for us to be liberated from this life of suffering, samsara, right? But we still try to cling or attach to this word, saha word, samsara, saying those words. So in the Buddhist scripture, it is said, we are like a child playing a burning house, right? So not knowing, the house is burning, but we just, praying in this house. So Buddha wants to take this, kids out from this burning house. So this is kind of one idea of how Buddha working hard to take us from this samsara. But again, Buddha works so hard. Buddha has been giving us a guidance for many, many kalpas, right? And then sometimes we say like this, we have no longing for attaining, we're going to pure land of peace. Maybe Buddha say, and then, that's fine, forget it, next. But our Buddha, Amida, didn't say so. Our Buddha, Amida said, I know, right? We have so many attachments to this world, right? our views are so narrow. So it's difficult for us to see the reality of this Saha world from a bigger perspective. Right? So Amida Buddha, know who we are, how we live our everyday life. So Buddha said, I know. But don't worry. Right? I will continue to call you, continue to embrace all of us until we can be liberated from this world of suffering. Right? So Amida Buddha never gives up. Just continue to call us or embrace us. No matter who we are, right? How we live our everyday life. Even when we forget this Buddha, even when we try to escape this Buddha never gives up. Just continue to call us, try to embrace us. Right? So this is Amida Buddha's compassion. This is Amida Buddha's primal vow, Hongan. So in the Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, to deeply, appreciatively listen to Buddha's voice, that is Shinjin. And then because we receive huge, kindness, compassion, embrace from this Buddha, then we say, Namman Dabutsu, thank you, Buddha. Right? Kind of responding to what we have received, this Buddha. That is Nembutsu practice. Right? But for us to respond, to appreciate Buddha's deep compassion, we need to listen. We need to truly, deeply listen to Buddha's voiceless voice, Buddha's deep compassion. So listen to the Dharma is our practice for Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. And then as we deeply listen to Buddha's heart, and then gradually we know, how deep attachment, how strong attachment we carry. And then gradually maybe we can let them go, right? And then that's how gradually our everyday life changes with the guidance of Amida Buddha. So again, thank you very much for attending today's service. Today, I'd like to conclude my Dharma message reading a passage by Venerable Shinran one more time. So if you can, please put your hands together in Gassho. It is hard for us to abandon this old home of pain where we have been transmigrating for innumerable kalpas down to the present, and we feel no longing for the pure land of peace, where we have yet to be born. Truly, how grateful our blind passions are. But though we feel reluctant to part from this world, at the moment our karmic bonds to this Saha world run out, and finally our lives end, we shall go to that land. Amida Buddha especially sympathizes with those who have no sort of wanting to go to the Pure Land. Reflecting on this, we feel the great vow of great compassion to be all the more trustworthy and realize that our birth is settled. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Thank you. So now I'd like to give a thank you announcement. First, thank you Tara for being today's chairperson. ありがとうございました。And then thank you Dharma School teachers for your guidance for the student, Dharma School students. Thank you Dharma School teachers. And then thank you Vladley and Myron for your help during today's live streaming service. ありがとうございました。Thank you. And then thank you, Tony, for monitoring the chat room on the YouTube channel. Thank you, Tony. ありがとう。And then thank you, Emiko-san and the BBT music team for the beautiful gatha for today's service. ありがとうございました。And then thank you, COVID-19 committee and the May Toban, the monthly group, for helping keep our members safe. ありがとうございます。Thank you. And then lastly, thank you everyone for who joined today's service in person and virtually. Thank you for attending. ありがとうございました。 So this concludes today's live stream service. For those who online, thank you for attending, and then see you next week. Okay, ありがとうございました。Thank you.